thing that we use the term vipassana. It's only the beginning of the development of right understanding with direct sati and sampajanya. And sampajanya is another word for panya. Because if we heard about any term, it's not just follow it or think that one understands it, but is it right or wrong to take anything which is not panya as panya, because one doesn't know what panya knows. What panya knows? It knows the truth, the true nature of reality right now, any moment.
Good evening, madam. I have one question to madam. For example, when I beat like this, with this, it makes sound mola. From where this sound is coming, madam? Can you explain, madam? From where this sound is coming, madam? When I beat like that, it makes sound more, madam. From where this sound is coming, madam? Either from my finger or other book. Can you explain, madam?
Please repeat your question. As you repeat again right now, it's difficult to understand.
Okay, madam. My question is that when I beat book, it makes sound more, madam. Sound. From where this sound is making, madam? Coming. My question is that, madam.
Can you control thoughts that come into your head?
Yes, madam?
Can you control thoughts that come into your head?
No, madam.
No. Okay, so when you ask where the thoughts are coming from, the thoughts are coming because of conditions. There's a condition for such and such thought to arise. There's, who knows what thoughts is going to arise next in our heads. We think it's at the head, but it's not really at the head. But we think a thought will arise. We know thoughts will arise, but we have no control over what thoughts are going to arise. They just arise because conditions make them arise. So to answer your question, where do the thoughts come from? It's conditions.
Excuse me, Betty. I think you misunderstood his question. What he meant is he what do you call it? Tap the book and then he make noise, right? He wants to know whether the noise come from his finger or from the book or from where.
Oh, the noise of the tapping.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, please forgive me that I'm slow in understanding as well. Okay, you tap the book or you tap the microphone. That is sound, right? And it impinges, it hits the rupa that you call your ear, right? But we call it the base, okay? We call it the physical base. Now, in order to interpret that sound, the fact that the sound arises, tapping this, or the book, whatever, will be a condition for the object, that is the sound, and a citta to arise, which will but it will cognize, it will identify the sound, whether it's loud, soft, whatever. Okay? So it identifies, so there are three things that come together in order for the sound to be recognized. The sound arises, a citta arises to figure out and remember what that sound is, and the base, the place where it occurs. They all come together. Then, when that occurs, the object, that same sound, is also the object of what will happen in what we call the mind, where other citta and cetasika are arising. It's another process by which that sound is then interpreted depending upon your memory. For instance, you hear language. For instance, if I hear Bhutanese spoken, since I don't understand it, it's just sound, right? But when you understand, say you understand the language, then there's meaning to the sound. And because you've learned the language, so there's meaning to that sound, say, because I'm speaking. Your mind is the element that's giving the sound meaning. If the mind didn't do this, you would not understand me, I would not understand you, there would be no communication. Okay? So there's two, we call them sense door processes and mind door processes. It's a whole series of citta and cetasika that arise in the sense door process first to figure out what the sound's all about and to identify and mark it and so forth. And then in the mind door identifies, it gives it a shape, or, well, in this case, a form and a meaning in what we call language. Okay? Or a sound, like we hear the sound of snapping. Okay? To give it a sound, we've heard sounds like that before, so we know, that's the sound of snapping. Or we hear sound of water flowing, that's the sound of water. Or we hear sound of the wind whistling, or we hear the sound of an animal, or whatever. Okay, we can identify and say, yeah, that's a dog barking, or something like that, right? So it's your mind that basically identifies the sound. For instance, there are cases of people who have had head injuries, and suddenly they don't remember the language. You know, you hear them they hear you speaking, they go, they don't know what you're saying, whereas they've had that language all their lives. It means that probably there are no conditions for that particular person anymore for understanding whatever is being said, the sound, making sense of that particular sound. So I hope that basically answers your question. If not, please ask more.
Madam, explanation is a bit deeper, which I cannot understand, madam. Okay, madam can tell, will this sound made out of this book or from my hand, madam? Sound.
He wants to know whether the sound was made by his finger or
yes, madam. Book, madam.
Okay. Okay. The sound is sound. It's not made by anything. Is there really a book there? Is there really a book there? Huh? Yeah. Is there really a book there? Yeah? You see a book, right? But it's just rupa. Right? It's just rupa. But our mind interprets it. Oh, yeah, we got this square thing with pages in it. Yeah, that's a book. Okay? And then when we read it, read the script and the print there, our minds interpret it. We have the sense object, we have visible object, we look at the print on the page, and we have a visible object. But see, all of these those are the dhammas. Dhammas is another word for realities. Okay? So those are the realities. So there's no you, there's no me making this sound. Okay? It is rupa making the sound, that's all. Okay? It's just rupa. There's no me to make that sound. So where does, and then you want to know, so where does the sound come from if there's no me doing it? It's just rupa doing it. There are conditions for that sound to arise. And that's it. There's no you doing it. So the more we can understand that there's no me doing something, the more we understand the reality and the nature of the realities. So it's not tapping the book or tapping the microphone or whatever. But we live in everyday life. We have to use these, we call concepts. This is just rupa, but in the concept level, we know what this thing is. It's a microphone, right? But in reality, what is it? It's just rupa. Is it?
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, my English, my spoken English is not good. So, but I also try to spread my thinking. You said that because of a memory, so that the mind can identify what they can see, what they hear, right? Yes, but in I don't know in Tibetan philosophy, but in my philosophy in Vietnam, I studied like this. When I contact with the object and my consciousness happen. My consciousness, I consciousness, sorry. It means six doors, six consciousness to identify six sense, six object, right? Maybe my English is not good, so please. And the seventh consciousness is a mana consciousness, and the eighth one is alaya consciousness. Alaya consciousness is a store. I mean, I think maybe like your memory, the store. Consciousness, yes. Yes. Like that. Alaya consciousness, right? Consciousness is the store to keep the seed they collect before from the sixth sense. Six consciousness, and mana consciousness, the seventh one, like the storekeeper bring from six door to the eighth one, and from the eighth he bring in and bring out the seventh one. Mean the seventh one in mana consciousness, it has a character like a clinging what the sixth sense collect and put in the store the eighth one, the alaya consciousness, and from it clean the seed they keep there and then bring out to the sixth sense so that you can recognize. So I don't know what is the difference between your memory and what I understand about this.
Okay, but yeah. There's only in your teaching, in your teaching that you learn from, there's more than 6 doorways.
There are 8.
8? Yes. What is the 7th and 8th?
Mana consciousness.
Mano, Dvara. Okay, we call that the mind door, so that's the 6th one.
The 7th one, and the other one, the 8th one is alaya consciousness. In Vietnam, maybe my speaking is not right. My pronunciation not right.
What is the function of
the 8th one? The eighth one, like the store, keep all the seed. They collect. Like me now, when the eye consciousness identifies the object, right? The ear consciousness identifies something, and then they keep the 7th one. The 7th one bring into the 8th one is at the store. Without store, you cannot remember. Like
what are the conditions that bring it to the store?
From 6th sense, from 6th consciousness. Like the sis, like I don't know Bhutanese because I didn't get before. So that in my memory, in my the eighth one, the eighth consciousness, it doesn't have. So that when I hear Bhutanese language, I don't understand.
So
like
this eighth,
the eighth
seventh and eighth, are they both consciousness?
Yes.
They're both consciousness. So would you say that they are jittas or what?
Chitta, they are eight. Six, the same view, right?
Okay.
Same eye, ear, nose, body, something like that. Consciousness, six.
But the body sense has three.
The body consciousness is the fifth one. And the mind consciousness, mana consciousness, and alaya consciousness. Like
what is Arya consciousness?
It is just like store. The store keep all the memory.
What are the conditions that will cause this store to keep?
Yeah, because of mana, the seventh one. The seventh one is the cause. Yes, very important for us. Very important because it recognize and attachment. Attach. Yeah, like that.
So it's kept because of attachment.
Yes. So that we say mana, the seventh one, very important. Yeah, six consciousness, they only identify six sense, six object. Right, but the seventh one, very, very important.
I see.
Yes, like that.
See, in the way we've studied it, according to the Tipitaka and to the Abhidhamma, which is the third part of the Tipitaka, because there are two parts to it, the Sutta and the Vinaya, which is the rules for the monks, and the last one, which is the Abhidhamma, or higher Dhamma. And according to the writing there, we have basically, if you want to call it 8 senses, in the sense that we have eye, ear, nose, mouth, okay? The body sense has 3, okay? Body sense has 3, and the mind is another one. But actually, it's much easier to think in terms of 6 different 5 sense doors plus a mind door, and where the actions that are performed, causing whatever jitta and cetasika to arise, are stored, is in the jitta itself. Okay, it's not stored in a specific kind of jitta, but it is stored in any of the jitta that arise and perform the function of doing an action, of part of doing an action. Okay. So that's as far as that. There's all kinds of terminology